morning. Welcome to the online home of the Calgary Unitarians. Whoever you are, whomever you love, wherever you are on your journey of faith or search for meaning, welcome. If you are visiting for the first time or the first time in a long time, know that we are grateful to have you with us. We come together in beloved community to grow in wisdom, to welcome and deepen relationships, and act for a just and sustainable world. We recognize our responsibility to be stewards of this land and acknowledge that we do this with those for whom this is their traditional territory, the people of the Blackfoot Confederacy, comprising the Siksika, Piikani, and Kainai First Nations, as well as the Tsuut'ina First Nation and the Stoney Nakoda, including the Chiniki, Bearspaw, and Wellesley First Nations of Treaty 7 region of Southern Alberta, signed September 22nd, 1877. We also recognize that Mohkinstsis, now known as the City of Calgary, is home to Métis Nation of Alberta, Region 3. In offering a land acknowledgement, we honor those who have long been the stewards and accept our shared responsibility for being good caretakers. We acknowledge that treaties were entered into as a collaboration between settlers and the Indigenous people, making us all treaty people. My name is Jane Ebern, and I have the privilege of serving on your board of trustees. This congregation is special to me because of its celebration of freedom of religious thought, a non-dogmatic approach to spirituality, and also very much for the warmth of its congregation. And I'd like to talk to you a little bit about when do we return to in-person services? We very much would like to get back to our format where we continue to offer online, but also offer some form of in-person services. The Board of Trustees met January 28th to consider this question, and we have decided to postpone any return to in-person services till our required staff and AV team are comfortable with being back in person, until we start seeing the total COVID hospitalization numbers start trending down. These hospitalization figures are still climbing a bit each day and are putting further stress on our health system, particularly with all the staff shortages due to COVID illnesses. But we do expect these numbers will start trending down soon. The board will meet briefly every 2 weeks by Zoom to consider when to schedule a return to in-person services. And our next meeting will be February 11th. And feel free to send your thoughts or input on this to board@calgaryunitarians.ca. We'd be delighted to hear from you. And in the meantime, we encourage you to socialize safely with other Unitarians and other Calgarians these days. Please make a point of reaching out to fellow Unitarians to suggest a walk outside these days, or just have a chat on the phone. Or consider using our large fire pit that is it's in our grassy garden area outside of Wickenden. Just bring your own wood, matches, and marshmallows. Be aware that outdoor gatherings are currently limited to 20 people, appropriately distanced at this time. Ideally, pre-book the fire pit area by going on our booking site and requesting what's called the G code, G as in grassy area outside of Wickenden, just to ensure that two different groups aren't planning a fire pit evening, on the same night. And I really encourage you to please reach out to each other. I know we're all a little tired of online and it's important to get the face-to-face, so let's find ways of doing it safely. And now let's go to Shelly for our chalice lighting.
As we ignite our flaming chalice this morning, let it represent for us the light that shines within us, each and all. Let us focus our intention with these words from my friend and colleague, Reverend Abi Janamanchi. The sacred is present and available to us wherever we look or are willing to find it. If we remain open and expectant, watching out of the corners of our eyes, keeping our ears cocked, putting away all preconceived ideas, our lives will emanate the sacred. It is so good to worship together. Good morning. I'm the Reverend Shelly Thompson. My pronouns are she and her, and I am so pleased and privileged to be the interim minister here at Calgary Unitarians. I want to highlight for you something really important that's happening at our See You Friday event on Friday, February 4th at 7 p.m. We have a very special guest coming to speak with us on Zoom. It's Elder Doreen Healy, and she will be talking with us about the long hoped for Indigenous Gathering Place proposal, and it is coming up before City Council on February 15th. So this is a wonderful advocacy opportunity with our partners at the Calgary Alliance for the Common Good. So we want you to please come out, show your support, honor Elder Doreen, and learn how we can all put that pressure on the City Council to do the right thing and approve the Indigenous gathering place that will in fact help all of us in the long run. It will be not only a place for Indigenous people to practice their spirituality, but it would also be open to the community to learn and deepen relationships with our First Nations siblings. So please come and let's have a good showing for Elder Doreen on Friday, February 4th at 7 p.m. Your presence and your participation really does make a difference. This is where we can really change things. It's so beautiful. Well, speaking of presence and participation, one of my favorite ways to define membership in or friendship with a UU congregation is with the 4 Ps: presence, participation, pledging, and paying it forward. All of these are important in the life of our congregation, and all of them are ways to deepen your faith and enrich your own life. Our leadership teams are paying attention to each of these in turn this spring and this winter, and they've already started. We've been communicating with you, starting with presence, through our phone calls to check in, connect, find out how you're doing. We know presence has been especially challenging during COVID, as our beloved Jane Ebern just was sharing with us. We're encouraging folks find ways to connect and be present with one another, since COVID has made our sanctuary not the safest place right now. So we want to support you in that however we possibly can. And one of those ways is, as Jane mentioned, there's a brand new fire pit out there. I can't wait to go roast some marshmallows with y'all. So let's make a plan. I also want to double check that you've updated your contact information with us, because we do have a lot of stuff coming out this spring. Our Committee on Shared Ministry is asking for your presence and participation. They're going to send out a survey. They want your insight, your inspiration, and all of your great ideas about what this congregation does well, what we can do better, and what your hopes and dreams are for our future as we're looking ahead during this transition time before a new minister comes. So who are Calgary Unitarians right now? Why are we here? Why is this place important to us? We really need your participation to answer those questions for our community at this time. And we have some amazing leadership opportunities coming up. The nominating committee would love your support in connecting with folks who would like to grow and learn through service to the congregation. And it is one of the best ways to get to know some really amazing people if you haven't had that opportunity already. And then in March, hopefully you'll participate in our pledge campaign, which is led by our phenomenal stewardship team. They do a great job helping us all understand how our time, talent, and treasure support the mission and ministry of this congregation. So your presence and participation in pledging is a really exciting way to celebrate everything we love about Calgary Unitarians and how being a part of this community enriches our lives, it enriches each one of us, and it benefits all of Calgary. Our presence here is really important. So that's a time also when we're pledging and thinking about our upcoming year of ministry to focus some of our dreams and make some plans for what kind of innovative and exciting ministry we can do in these interesting hybrid times and with all of our creativity in the coming year. including things over the summer like music camp with Jane Perry. Who doesn't love that? Woo, woo, woo. Love it, love it. It's exciting. And as if all of that weren't exciting enough, the Moving Forward team is going to be hosting some town halls to share all the information they've gathered, especially thanks to Lilius, our wonderful presenter of information and gatherer of information, to discuss the concepts and the possibilities and to discern together, really discern spiritually together. What do we feel is the best place for Calgary Unitarians? Is it our current building? Or are there some other alternatives to consider? What are our options? We want to know. And we really want your help in that process. And so that is how we pay it forward, by thinking very carefully and imaginatively and boldly about what we can together become and what Calgary Unitarians will be in the future for all of Calgary. So participation, presence, pledging, paying it forward, whatever order you put your P's in. It's all about how we live out our mission to grow in wisdom, welcome and deepen relationships, and act for a just and sustainable world. And it is such a joy that we get to do this together. So please make yourselves comfortable now and join me in our centering chant presented by the incomparable Jane Perry.
Good morning, friends. It's good to be together with you again in this virtual environment. We're starting with a chant this morning, and it's one that will be new to many of us. The purpose of a chant is, well, the first couple of times we sing it through, and we will sing it multiple times, we're paying attention to the melody, learning it. We're paying attention to the words, especially if this is a new one for us, and the rhythm and getting it right. After a while, though, you will start to find that you can let go of that and just be present in the moment. Let the music take you. Worry less about what you're singing and more just about how you're doing. What are you thinking? What are you feeling in this present moment? Just to be present. Here we go. Slow down, recharge, take a breath and remember who you are. Slow down, recharge, take a breath and remember who you are. Slow down, recharge, take a breath and remember who you are. Slow down, recharge, take a breath and remember who you are. Slow down, recharge, take a breath and remember who you are. Slow down, recharge, take a breath and remember who you are. Slow down, recharge, take a breath and remember who you are. Slow down, recharge, take a breath and remember who you are.
Oh, thank you, Jane. I feel actually so much more relaxed and centered after that. I really enjoyed that chanting, so that was awesome. I'm Dearie Sheila, and my pronouns are she and her. And some of you might be wondering, what does DRE stand for? As Unitarians, we love our acronyms and we have them for everything. And sometimes it can be easy to forget that not everybody knows. And so to be more inclusive, I'm going to be periodically saying, what are some of the acronyms that we're using? And so today, DRE, it means Director of Religious Education. And I'm the Director of Religious Education for the children, youth, and young adults here at the Calgary Unitarians, which I'm very happy about. I love being with all of you every week. And speaking of young adults, we have a very special birthday that came up this week, and I have some pictures to share with you. Here we go. Many of you know Ian Clipperton just turned 35, and here he is. He participated with his stuffed cat with our animal sleepover party last week, and all the participants got a little goodie bag, and I have a little frog in my throat as well. All the participants got a little goodie bag, and it happened to be when I brought everything over, it was Ian's birthday. So that was amazing. And there's Ian, and he also got one of our fabulous multi-faith calendars and enjoyed that. And there's his mom, Penny. Hey, Penny. Hey, Ian. You're out there watching this morning. Happy birthday. And it was so wonderful to visit with both of you this week. There we go. And today we're talking all about meditation. Oh, wait, before I get into that, I actually want to say, if any of you have birthdays coming up and you want to send me some pictures or just an announcement, please do at dre@calgaryunitarians.ca, because I love sharing the special event, special birthdays that all of us have once a year. So send them in to me because it's lovely to share and feel a little more connected. And now I can say, speaking of connection, today we're talking about meditation and how to center ourselves and how to find mindfulness. And I have a great story that I think is actually good for all ages called I Am Peace. Here we go. I Am Peace by Susan Verde with art by Peter H. Reynolds. There are times when I worry about what might happen next and what happened before. Thoughts in my head are like rushing water, and I feel like a boat with no anchor, being carried away. I give myself a moment. I take a breath, and then I tell myself, it's all right. I feel the ground beneath my feet and steady myself. And start to notice the here and the now. I watch my worries gently pop and disappear. I let things go. I can say what I feel inside out loud. I know myself. I can share kindness with others. I make a difference. I can hug a tree and thank it for its beauty and strength. I connect to nature. I can watch the clouds make shapes against the sky. I know wonder. I can taste and smell and touch and hear and see what is all around me. I use my senses. I can feel my breath fill my whole body. I tune into me. Now the water is still. I have found my anchor and everything is all right. I don't need to worry about before or after. I am in this moment. I am peace. Now I share my peace with others and hope that it is carried away to those who need it. And I dream we are peace. And my wish for all of you this week is to find those activities that bring you joy, that connect you to nature, bring you into the moment, and find that peace and balance. And part of some activities that I'm offering this week in our CYRE, Children and Youth Religious Education newsletter, is exactly those activities. So we have 2 breathing meditations that are great for all ages, children, youth, adults. We have coloring pages. We have some feeling sheets, worksheets that you can print out, as well as a meditation word find even. So check out those resources to help you and your family find that inner peace and balance that you might be looking for this week. You know, there's a great quote by Pema Chodron that says, "You are the sky. Everything else is just weather. May we be peace."
The Palabaker Award, which honors a member of our community who has given extraordinary service in a given year, is always a challenge for the Board of Trustees. So many categories to consider: those who provide leadership of inspiring projects, gifts of their talent and skills, ideas that generate excitement. Today, we recognize what those who have come into our building just a few times this past year have noticed: new flooring in the basement, new paint in the washrooms, some leaks prevented, and some lighting improved. The instigator, organizer, and sometimes even the sole worker on these improvement projects has been Eric Levitt. As those of us on the Moving Forward team know, Eric complains about our building a lot. Knowing what's wrong can be a great motivator for change as an abstract concept. But Eric also puts in days of physical labor, as well as showing others what to do and how to do it. He insisted when told about the award that we not make any fuss, so let's not. Let's just agree that he's making our home and our community better.
Hello, I'm Katherine Burwash, and I'm honored today to contribute what I know of intention from the perspective of mindfulness, both as a counseling psychologist and also from being a student in the mindfulness meditation teacher certification program. My teachers in this program are Jack Cornfield and Tara Brock, who are both renowned psychologists and meditation teachers. And today I also want to acknowledge another one of my teachers, Thich Nhat Hanh, who passed away peacefully this week. Thank you, Thay. So we've been exploring all month long intention, and it has a variety of rich meanings. But what does intention have to do with mindfulness? So I'm going to start with a quote from Deepak Chopra, who says, "Conscious change is brought about by the 2 qualities inherent in consciousness: intention and attention. And whatever you put your attention on will grow stronger in your life. Whatever you take your attention away from will wither, disintegrate, and disappear." And there's a similar quote from a Buddhist teacher, Richard Baker. "The essence of Buddhism is intention and attention." So Buddhism is renowned for mindfulness, which really isn't a technique so much as a path or a way of being in the world. And so mindfulness has 2 major aspects: awareness and heartfulness. And awareness, as you may guess, is sustained by paying attention. So attention and intention. So focusing and then refocusing on that present moment, not getting caught in the past or future, and then returning to the present, what's happening in the here and now, is a result of paying attention. And that awareness that comes from attention also includes this aspect of insight or wisdom. And heartfulness, as you probably know, refers to attitudes that come from the heart. Jon Kabat-Zinn talks about these. And so the intentions of the heart include a lot of qualities: that non-judgment, acceptance, some care, gentleness, that patience, trust, some curiosity, and beginner's mind, just to name a few. So while we're talking about mindfulness, it can be kind of complex. So I like a visual metaphor that helps me understand the complexities of mindfulness. So mindfulness has two wings like a bird, right? So, okay, let's see if I can get my wings in here. So for a bird to fly to its destination, it needs to coordinate those wings in a balanced way. And those two wings are the two aspects of mindfulness: the awareness or attention, and heartfulness or intention. So if you just have awareness, you're not really going to fly straight, because it can be just cold or impersonal or detached or just kind of mental, all those mental concepts, and you feel yourself being pulled by that. But if you just have those heart attitudes by themselves, you can be misdirected, foolish, taken advantage of, or a little bit unwise. So we need both of them. We need the attention and the intention to fly straight, kind of like both heart and mind working together. That's another aspect of mindfulness. So we know now how mindfulness relates to intention. But I just want to remind you that intentions are different from goals. And I'll read a rather long quote from Philip Moffat. He's a Buddhist teacher and a member of the Spirit Rock Teachers Council. With goals, the future is always the focus. What are you going to reach the goal? Will you be happy when you do? And what's next? But setting intention, at least according to Buddhist teachings, is quite different than goal making. It's not oriented towards a future outcome. Instead, it's a path or practice that's focused on how you are being in the present moment. Your attention is on the ever-present now, in that constantly changing flow of life. And you set your intentions based on understanding what matters most to you, and make a commitment to align your worldly actions with your inner values. What would it be like if you didn't measure the success of your life just by what you get or don't get, but gave equal or greater priority to how you are aligned with your deepest values? So intentions then are present focused, while goals are future focused. And because of that, I think that goals are often based on fear. But intentions are based on love and well-being. And intentions are based on your own values and sense of purpose in life. I also think that intentions are that fuel or the passion, that energy that help us to accomplish our goals. So where do intentions originate? Well, we've talked about originating in the heart. But from the Buddhist perspective, there's this eightfold path as a way to live dissatisfied life, and enlightened life. And one of the aspects of the Eightfold Path is called right intention. And according to Buddhism, the right intention is your heart's intention. So it's not merely an adherence to a set of principles or ideology or thoughts, but it includes this intuitive or felt sense of wisdom. And intentions include the desires of the heart and a set of ethical principles. So it balances the personal heart longings and desires with a larger ethical response to the community. So all of us together. So Buddhism has 5 ethical principles. One is reverence for life. You might have heard that as non-harming. The second principle is about stewardship, and then generosity. The third principle is respect for erotic and sexual energy. The fourth principle is about wise communication. And the last principle about healthy consumption and nourishment. So all of these principles are precepts and they're aspirational in nature, which is great. It gives us something to look forward to. However, I am so relieved that Buddhism does not expect perfection of us mere humans. But it's a heartfelt acknowledgement when we stray or make mistakes, but mainly when we forget our true nature as valuable and precious beings. And we get to choose. We get to choose to return again to our heart on our heartfelt intentions. So inner happiness comes not from pursuing perfectionism, which I did for many years to no avail, but returning again and again to right intention, to your heart. And probably, as you already know, just to remind you, intentions are best found when we take some quiet time, preferably daily, to listen to your heart. Intentions are also mixed in with actions. So it's not just trying to have the right intention, but to act with the right intention. Actions have consequences. Some of them we feel immediately, some of them a little further down the road, like when you don't brush your teeth, and perhaps in a future life. Whether an action is considered healthy or unhealthy depends on the intention. You know, I could take a knife and use the same knife to cut fruit, or I could use that to hurt someone. So our best actions flow from good intentions. Another way of looking at intentions are to consider them seeds. We need to tend to them lovingly. And for you gardeners out there, you'll know what I mean. You have to find the right soil, plant the seed, water, fertilize, weed, all of that if we want our intentions to grow and be fruitful. Now, if you're like me, you probably have noticed that setting good intentions is not quite enough. How many of you have set some intentions for the new year, and here it is, January 30th, and you're already going, oh. Sometimes I'm letting those intentions slip. So, back to Buddhism again, and their Eightfold Path. They also talk about right resolve, and right resolve and right intentions go together. So, right resolve is about setting your mind to live by your values, and like all good things, it develops with practice. Whether you want to play a piece of music, learn how to cook, whatever it is, you need that practice. Because as human beings, circumstances challenge our goals, challenge our intentions, and it's so easy to get discouraged and give up. But when we redirect our attention to our heart's values, then we reconnect with what's really important to us. And we can keep cultivating our intentions, whether we achieve our goals or not. We may need to modify our actions, but we can choose to continue. We keep aligning our deepest intentions with our values. It's a practice that Buddhists call remembering and forgetting. This makes our intentions and our goals sustainable. Intention is that fuel. So in closing, I'm going to leave you with a quote from one of my favorite poets, Rumi. He says, "Feel yourself being quietly drawn by the deeper pull of what you truly love." And because Buddhism is about practicing through meditation, I invite you to join me now as we enter this time of meditation. I'll offer just a few remarks to guide you, give you the Rumi quote again, and then we'll have a minute of silence. And then Jane will lead us out of the meditation with some beautiful music. So start by sitting or lying down if you are in a relaxed and dignified posture. Your eyes can be gently open or closed, whatever helps you to turn inward. And take a few deep breaths. And when you're ready, reflect upon your heartfelt intention as you feel yourself being quietly drawn by the deeper pull of what you truly love.
Voice still and small, deep inside all, I hear you call, singing. In storm and rain, sorrow and pain, still will remain, singing, calming my fears, quenching my tears, through all the years, voice still and small, deep inside all, I hear you call, singing. In storm and rain, sorrow and pain, still will remain, singing.
So lovely. Thank you both. Meditation and mindfulness practice has been something important in my life as well. And as Sheila and I are often on the same wavelength, I have something to share with you from Pema Chodron. She's a well-known wisdom teacher. She's a Tibetan Buddhist monk, and she works with Shambhala. It's an intentional community of meditation centers and schools all around the world. And just like in our story today, I Am Peace, in Pema's book, in Pema Chodron's book, Welcoming the Unwelcome, she offers a meditation practice from one of her teachers, Richard Rorsch, called LASER, locate, embrace, stop, and remain. And it's similar to a mindfulness practice I've used in my own therapeutic practice and in self-hypnosis teachings that I've learned elsewhere. So I want to share this very helpful technique with you for the times when our emotions seem like they're getting the best of us, like we're on that river, in that boat without an anchor. So she teaches that we pronounce this laser even though it's L-E-S-R. Locate, embrace, stop, and remain. Pema tells us, whenever you feel yourself getting worked up or having any unpleasant, uncomfortable, or stuck feelings, follow these 4 steps. Number 1, locate it. Investigate in your body. Where is the grasping, contracted sensation, any tightness, and make contact with that place in your body. It often helps if you put a gentle hand in that spot. Step 2, embrace. Embrace that feeling, that sensation, that contraction. One way of doing this is to send any fearful, grasping, self-protective feelings, send them your unconditional warmth. This can be similar to comforting a crying child. The main point is to reverse the ancient human tendency to avoid and reject pain. Instead, move toward it with heart, that heartfulness that Katherine was telling us about. It's so true. 3rd step, stop, the storyline. Pema says stop works in our acronym, LASER, but she thinks of this step more as letting go, interrupting, or looking directly at the thoughts and the stories. The idea is not to stop thinking altogether, because that is impossible, but to go beneath or behind your thoughts, to contact the underlying sense of being hooked. You can learn a lot just by having a direct, non-conceptual experience of being hooked. What does that feel like? Even if it only lasts for a moment. Once you've connected with that raw feeling, you can then continue to interrupt the stories and keep returning to the experience again and again. That's our forgetting and remembering and forgetting and remembering again. Having a regular meditation practice will help you tremendously with this step. Step 4, remain. Stay present with that feeling. Keep going until it shifts or until it feels like too much of a struggle. You don't have to wait till you feel overwhelmed. This is not an endurance trial. Just remain with the feeling, with kindness and warmth, leaning in as much as you can. Be friendly, caring, and compassionate, as one of my teachers, Dr. Brian Ullman, always used to say. Be friendly, caring, and compassionate to your feelings, to yourself. And what often happens at this time is you discover how painful the feeling is, and you realize you don't want to continue to do that to yourself. This can soften you up considerably, And it can also make you more accessible to see and to hear other people. It can give you natural intelligence, and openness to change can emerge. And once you've worked with these 4 steps for a while, you can try adding a 5th step. And one of them is using that feeling to awaken compassion while remaining present with the raw feeling. Contemplate that countless people and animals all over the planet are feeling just like this. Use your experience as a way of gaining insight into our sameness with one another. And at this point, you can contemplate along these lines. May I and all beings who feel like this be free from our pain. May we be free from the underlying contraction and fear that come from defending our personal territory. You can also take this opportunity to practice Tonglen. It's a breathing technique where you breathe in, you deeply open yourself to that shared feeling. And then when you breathe out relief to all beings, including your fearful and contracted self, who are caught in the same way. So lesser and its related practices like Tonglen provide you with a means to expand your view, open your heart and mind at the very point where we all habitually contract, and go inward. These practices are for a lifetime, and you can begin them today. Thank you, Pema. Now is the time that we share our joys and sorrows, our cares and concerns with one another, anything that we really need our community to help us carry or we want to celebrate together. We've been celebrating Eric today, and we are gonna make a fuss. Yay, Eric, we love you so much. You're awesome. Yeah, you, just you. Own it. We love you. So, I love to see loud American. What can I say? Sorry. So that's a great joy for us today. And we also want to take this moment to send lots of love and light to Judy and the Osborne family as they continue their grieving process. And I know a great many of you have been struggling with illness this month, with colds and COVID of long duration that just weeks and weeks of hanging in there. So a lot of light and healing vibes and wellness go out to all of you who are struggling with those illnesses. And to each and every one of you that has a sorrow, a grief, a care or concern that is just too much to bear by yourselves, please know that we love you and you are not alone. We light a candle for you. And also, we light a global candle for the joys and concerns the world over. And we hear a lot about the concerns. We know that there's so much going on out there that breaks our heart. We're sending our love and our light out that way. And I want to share with you some good news today from my home state of California. Earlier this week, the Save the Redwoods League returned a 523-acre parcel of redwood forest to the Intertribal Sinkawan Wilderness Council. The original inhabitants of that land have gotten it back. Woo! I hear cheers. There's cheers going on. The forested area is also going to be renamed back to its original name, Tisialedun, which means fish run place in the Sinkawan language. And it's located in Northern California along what's called the iconic Lost Coast. It's an area of giant redwoods. And this forest houses several endangered species like steelhead trout, coho salmon, those famous spotted owls, and the yellow-legged frog. And it also includes 200 acres of old growth redwoods, along with several other trees and understory plants. Hooray, hooray. So that is an indigenous gathering place of great importance, and we are so grateful and happy for our siblings to have that return to them. And now, one of my favorite things, every Sunday, we get to sing together. I am sending you light.
I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending no matter where you've been, you'll never walk alone. I feel you deep within, and I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. No matter what you feel or what you choose to show, I'm always there for you, and so I want you to know that I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I walk the path with you. Go slow, dear one, don't hurry. I'll go just like you need to go. There is no need to worry. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love.
As we consider mindfulness today, let's put our minds to this week's offering, the last of January, which includes a portion for others destined this month for the Awotan Healing Lodge, an Indigenous-run facility in Calgary that provides shelter and support for women and children of any culture who experience domestic violence. The rate of domestic violence in Calgary is high. Yes, statistics, it is. This is our opportunity to provide effective funding that will keep victims safe. Please give generously. Most of us are fortunate to live in peace and safety. Our contributions will help others to do so. Thank you.
Thank you so much to Katherine for being our guest star today, sharing her wisdom with us. Katherine is going to share more of that wisdom. She's teaching a class on mindfulness. And so you want to check out eNews and learn how to register for that. Promises to be really special. And it's our way of giving back to Katherine too, as she's practicing for her certification. So we want to share the love and share that wisdom together. What an enriching experience we'll have. It's going to be amazing. Looking forward to it. And as you see, Katherine sharing her wisdom, I know there's a lot of you who have wisdom like that in different areas. And so there's always room in worship. We want to hear your voices. We want to know what you have to contribute. I know we were talking at the board of directors yesterday. Just amongst our board, we have so much wisdom. Marcia and Pam shared with us last week, and I know Alex is so passionate about the environment, and Conrad, oh my goodness, Conrad has so much to offer and share with us about his work on sustainable energy and all the ways that can benefit Calgary. So those are just some examples, and I know there's a lot more out there amongst you. So just let us at the worship team know we're WAT, W-A-T, at calgaryunitarians.ca. If you have a piece of wisdom that you'd like to share with us, we'd be delighted to put you on the worship calendar. It would be a lot of fun, and I know everyone would really welcome and embrace you in your sharing. So just think about that. We will extinguish our chalice today with the words of Jean Olson. May you be brave enough to expose your aching woundedness and reveal your vulnerability. May you speak your deepest truths, knowing that they will change as you do. May you sing the music within you, composing your own melody, playing your song with all your heart. May you draw, paint, sculpt, and sew, showing the world your vision. May you write letters, poetry, biography, slogans, graffiti, the great novel, laying bare your words to love and hate. May you love even though your heart breaks again and again. And until the end of your days, may your life be filled with possibilities and courage. Please join us in singing, Blessed Spirit of My Life.
Strength through strength.
Friends, thank you again for having been with us in this Zoom worship service this morning. We're so delighted that you made that decision to join us today. It's time for our Zoom coffee hour, and this is an opportunity for longtime members to have a chance to actually see each other and catch up. Valuable, valuable time. And for anyone who is new this morning, or you're back for the first time in a long time, well, it's your chance to meet some people and get a more of a sense of who Calgary Unitarians is all about. So please join us. The Zoom link for coffee time has just appeared in the chat area of your Zoom screen. Thank you, friends. Be well.